Good time zones, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of The City in Yellow. Today, everything will go absolutely right, and there is no problem that is going to be felt to anybody ever, because everything is always good. And as per usual, I'm joined with my beautiful bands of adventure in the presence of those people, starting with Will.
Hey guys, I'm Will, and I play Herbert Percival Cunningham, Squadron Leader, retired of 32nd Squadron Royal Flying Corps, DFC, DSO, and BAR.
You all wanted a full title, you got it. Followed up by Chelsea.
Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I'm playing Janet Ray, the definitely not shady nurse.
Then we have Kit.
Hi, I'm Kit, and I'm playing Bridget Braun. She's bringing her guns and her badge.
All right. Matt?
Hey, I'm Matthew Smith. I'm playing Matthias von Lamberg, retired major.
Major. There was a hesitation there. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with that.
Major.
And finally, Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I am playing Odie Frey. She's seen some stuff now. She's seen some stuff.
She's seen some stuff indeed. Now, let's catch up on where we left them last time. After dealing with an ambush in a somewhat definitive way, our investigators followed up on one Ambrosius Dietelmeyer, a man whose name came up in their researches, and that just happens to don the odd symbol that seems to be connected to all those incidents on a plaque in front of his apartment. They bribed their way in and came upon many strange books and writings talking about mysterious incidents that happened in the past, narrated by the one and only Kyle Ahrens. You should check out the video. One speaking about a city in yellow, a list of addresses, and a model of Strasbourg representing the city after the Great Breakthrough would be completed. It did, however, possess an extra branch that was not on the original plans. Following on some of the addresses, they broke into a building while Percy stood watch in front of it, and in the basement of it they saw a batch of explosives. And as the sirens of the police are closing in on them, this is where we are picking up right now. So, Percy, you are hearing quite a lot of police cars coming very, very close to you guys right now. What are you doing?
He's going to give the 3 whacks of the cane on the door to alert the team that something is not right, and then he's going to move off to the side so it's not obvious that he's right outside that address and observe.
Okay. The sound is a little bit muffled as you are currently in the basement behind a set of doors, but you do hear the very agreed upon 3 knocks and know that something is coming up.
I'm
Did we
going to
have
quick
a back window that we were gonna get out
second
at?
floor,
That was
back window.
Yeah.
You guys go there. I just got to check something real quick, and I'm going to try to see if I can tell if there's anything going on in that room besides I see the explosives, but if I hear like said ticking or see some lights moving around or see a fuse that's lit or something like that, what would I have to roll?
This would probably be a flashlight roll. Can you still do those?
All right. Oh yes.
Well, in that case, what you can see from underneath all of that, you could still. It just takes a quick glance for you. What you can see is that those explosives don't seem to be armed at the moment. They just seem to be stored there.
All right.
But there's
when
a lot of them.
So I just tell everyone this is just storage. It's not wired to go. We need to get out of here, though. This is going to look bad if we're here when anyone else shows up.
We go.
Especially me. I don't think I would do well. My accent is not appropriate for being arrested with explosives.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
You would know that it's even less recommended, as you clearly recognize the explosive as Westphalite, which was heavily used by the German army.
Yeah.
So where are you guys coming out of? You going to the second floor?
Yeah, we're gonna go to that window that we had agreed upon, and Bridget will go first.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so if anybody else needs help getting out.
Okay. Opening the window is not really a problem, Getting out of the window, though, it's a little bit high. I will probably need a dex save from everybody who's going through that window.
Alright.
I'll wait last to make sure everyone else gets through.
All right, Bridget is a success. Janet is a success. You're rolling good today. Odile is a success. Matt, you will not you will not break the streak, will you? Okay. Everybody is just exiting in a very efficient fashion outside of that window. The landing is not necessarily like the most graceful, but nevertheless, you are in the back alley, not directly in front of the building. You being a little bit on the side, Percy, you could see now like the gendarme getting out of the cars. You can see one man that is dressed a little bit differently. He's not in a uniform. He's like in a very nice suit. Let me actually show you the person. This is the person that you see. He is leading everybody outside of their cars. Oops, did not show
Nice
it.
eye roll, Charles.
Yep. And he's currently like watching the building up there, which is a canon explanation as why he's looking up, and leading a lot of gendarmes in it. You can see from a quick glance that he seems a little bit surprised that the door is open. As in unlocked, I mean.
Yeah.
Do you do anything about that?
How
Oh,
did
no.
that happen?
Are we on the other side of the building still, or are we where we can see him doing this?
Up to you.
Well, the plan was to go to the car, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I say. I think only Percy is going to be able to see this unless one of you guys
Yeah,
take
that's-
off, because
We're
Let's
heading
see,
for
it
the
should be
car.
like
That was
car,
what we agreed to.
car.
Yeah.
What were you about to say, Janet? Janet?
I
Go
don't know.
Ah, okay.
Nope,
Oh, good.
nope. Thought's gone.
Okay. Nope.
if you're going to take off, this would be the time.
Nope.
Okay.
Percy's just going to give it a minute and watch what the cops do, and probably then make himself scarce.
Okay. They are surrounding that building, and you can see that they're actually splitting up into different groups, going to different buildings, some places around the Place Kléber. So not all of them are going into the building that you have been in. In some of the other buildings, you can see them coming out a little bit, like disappointed, as if they found nothing. Yes, Percy?
With his observation, are the buildings they're going into the other addresses that we had? Like, can I see that from there?
From what you can see, one of them is from the list of addresses that you have given them. The other ones seem to be more random, or at least they were not in the list, but they seem to be somewhat connected, like geographically, to the other addresses. So they seem to follow part of your list at the very least. The ones going into the building that your friends just got into are staying there quite a while. How long are you going to stay and watch?
Like once they've gone in.
Okay.
Well, that depends. Is Charles in there? Is the superintendent? That I'm not sure if that's Charles Levy or not, because the character doesn't know. But does that guy stay above ground?
He went inside for probably 20 minutes and came back to light up a pipe and just let out a very enormous sigh.
It wouldn't have stuck around that long.
Okay. So you would all gather at the agreed upon place, probably with the car, with
Yep.
Maurice just waiting for you guys.
Would we have seen Charles when we were arrested really early on in the prologue? I'm just curious, or would we not have encountered him during that period?
That person, the superintendent, you have
Yes.
you have seen him once, but not since you started the investigation. You just saw him in passing while you were being tried for something you did not really commit. So you
Just
would
wanted to make
recognize
sure,
that person as the superintendent, yes.
Good. Whew.
So, with counting back that timeline of Percy sticking around for like a couple of minutes versus the 20 minutes, would I have had time to get to the car and tell them that Superintendent Levy was present?
Yes. Like you've seen him getting out of it, and I would say that like you guys leaving from a back alley would have just caught a glimpse of the guy coming into the building, and when you gather, Percy would definitely confirm that you have seen him. No problem. Maurice is staying very quiet.
So, as the team, we get in the car where it's safer to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to make ourselves known to Superintendent at this point, or should we carry on with what we were doing?
Yeah, tell them what you found.
Oh, they've found what we found.
No. I'm saying to Matt.
At the moment, Percy, you have no idea what they found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh no, we would have told him as soon as we got in the car, and there was noise from the engine. It's like there was a ton of explosives being stored there, not for use, but for being just stored. That'd be the first thing once it was reasonable to say, without prying ears. And also, Bridget, I think you would be much better. I think your status would be much better for reporting what we found. No, I'm sure they would take your words to heart more than mine.
Do we want to walk up to the police right now and say? I mean, no. What do you? Do we want an anonymous call? What are you suggesting?
I think they've got an anonymous call from us indirectly, so I think we've done our job. Our civil. I don't think we need to be recognized for our civil duties today.
Well, you said I was qualified. I thought you meant because of the bad.
No, because you were like asking. I thought you were asking me earlier to go talk to him.
Oh no!
About what we found.
To Percy. That's.
Oh, Percy! I thought you were saying for me too.
No! She's dumb, but she ain't that dumb.
So what is your next step?
No, that's a good question. What do we have? What are our other leads?
Well, it's weird because all of our suspects are now dead.
Except for one.
Except for one.
But trying to find this gentleman, yes, it'll be challenging. He seems to not want to be found and has the resources to keep himself anonymous. He'd have to, like somebody like that coming back here would not be welcomed by anybody.
Do we think that was the cave?
I mean, if it's strictly a code name, then likely it looks like they were using this place to move explosives to different locations. There was so much of it, but everything was prepped to travel. It was also old and German military. I mean, I didn't use much of that myself, but I did see some of the German units moving that stuff through for moving trenches that we wanted moved by the Allies. There was a lot of it though. Maybe.
I have a wild idea. Janet, that this person we're looking for, Ambrosius, he visits Leo, who's an artist.
Correct.
What if we could get him to give us a sketch? Because if he's using an alias, maybe we actually know this person by a different name, or would be another way to find him.
It's not such a far-fetched idea.
We can go check on Ezekiel, and you can maybe slip away and talk to Leo.
Sounds like an idea to me.
Unless someone's got something better.
I don't. There's so much going on that we don't know and understand Quite a people
trying
keep
to-
dying.
I mean, some of that's us, I'm sadly to say. Oh, is there any place we could still go that might have records of this Ambrosius? If we could get a picture of him, maybe we might recognize him. Maybe he moves in a circle one of us knows. Maybe you're right, Bridget. Maybe he is hiding under our nose, under an alias. I just can't think of where to go where they would have those kind of records for us to get to easily.
Are there like photos common in newspapers these days that we could go look at some microfiche or something?
Microfiche should be pushing it. Newspapers would have to be doing it the old school-fashioned
Oh.
way, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Microfiche was back in my
Just-
day, not back in the 20s.
Yeah. Oh, just going to like a library and things like that. Like
Yeah, like old copies of the newspaper. That's very labor intensive.
Mhm.
and also not likely. They don't use as many photos. I'm afraid. Not as many.
Yeah.
They still do some. Unless he did something particularly.
Noteworthy.
He was at. No. As Percy will know, like most newspapers were heavily censored when he was in office. Around here, they wouldn't be publishing many stories about him unless they were particularly fawning and pro whoever was in power. So I don't know if they'd be publishing a lot about him as the in this position as much. It's mostly military victories and heroes, less government officials.
Mm-hmm.
Possible, though. Possible. He might have been vain enough to have a few things planted in the news.
Could there be
Just wish we-
someone who is still in the government that has met him before? That could give us a description.
Possibly one way or the other. This town has changed hands a number of times with a lot of families that are more Strasbourg than French or German. Perhaps there'd be some people who made the transition, but I don't know them. But it's possible. I don't know.
Somebody who's seen him and is an artist, I think, is a great combo.
Yes,
That
it's
would
just
be possible.
whether-
If he was in charge of the city, they everyone patrons the arts such as a show of.
No, Leo knows him. He's the one who brings Leo his booze.
It is a place
Yeah.
to start, but
It is.
potentially relying on a mentally unstable artist.
Well,
Above game question, storyteller.
Yes.
The quality of the art that Leo was doing, it was all like pretty realistic, or was it surrealistic?
It depends on the painting that you saw. He definitely had different styles. Some of his work was very brutal and disorganized and required imagination. Some of it, when it was mostly about architecture, it was very precise.
Okay.
Can you roll me an intelligence save, please?
Yep. Oh, no.
Mhm.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So he does have a very specific, I would call that a thumbprint in the way he's doing things. But it's not always the same style, if it makes sense.
Okay.
It's just you would recognize it when you see his art.
Right.
like
Okay.
like he uses similar techniques, but not the sometimes more abstract than others kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'll relay that. Like, it seems that he's very good with architecture, but we may not get the details that we are looking for when it comes to a person,
Mm-hmm.
potentially. But it doesn't hurt to try.
Yes, Matthias?
We could,
Oh, sorry.
I was good. Oh,
You
I
go.
was gonna say, how are we feeling about our patron in this all, Charles Bongens? Maybe do you think he knows? Do you think he's in on this, or do you think he's pardon the expression, everyone, patsy? And perhaps maybe somebody's been feeding him information that he's not been looking at too closely. That map was verbatim what Ambrosius wanted. Like, it would be weird if he didn't have some hand in the breakthrough project. And it's too weird to be a coincidence, no?
Probably.
well, that throws up two scenarios, really. Either Charles is in on it and he's complicit with this Ambrosius, or, as you say, he's a patsy and he's just picked up. I feel like we discussed this earlier, but
Yeah.
and he's just picked up and run with the ball, as it were. I'm not super keen to expose our hand in what we know to Charles. He's not asking us for regular updates, which in itself is odd.
Well, I'm just wondering if we are working. It'd be kind of nice to know who we're working for. Did we just clean up their loose end, or is Charles genuinely unaware what's happening, and we're all being played for fools in some other way? Like maybe did we actually do any good this time? Are we stopping this, or are we just helping someone clean up his mess? Like, is Charles cleaning house, or are we actually helping Charles to find the real? I think that would be helpful going forward, but I don't know how to play that.
Do we know who's above Charles?
Considering the hierarchy of City Hall, above him would be the mayor. He's like very high in the food chain when he's like the manager for the whole urbanization project, which means that not a lot of people above him. There's not a lot of people above him except from the mayor.
How often, game mechanic question, how often can you do that lead thing, Matt?
Once per session.
And I can also do it.
Is now the time?
I think it might be. We're kind of
Yeah.
at a bit of a
Also,
crossroads, right?
I think I should say, because Odie is so curious, I know we talked about her not reading that City in Yellow book, but I think with us sort of spinning her wheels, I think Odie would start perusing that to try and find clues. I know.
Would you like to? Oh, sorry. No. Would you like to, Janet, or shall I look for?
Let me do it this time around. I will.
Of course, madame.
I would like to use my deduction, please.
All right. So are you focusing your deduction on something specific? On a specific topic, or is it just like a general clue about something you might have missed?
What do you think, guys? Do we want to focus in on Charles, or do we want to try to find a lean on Ambrose?
I say Ambrose. He's the key to this fight. Following that path, I think, is the most important. I mean, if Charles isn't important, fine. But Ambrose is definitely
important. Focusing on Ambrose Dietemiter, please.
Okay. So you're trying to recall a little bit everything that you found on him, and one thing that really sticks out is like how much art from Leo was at his apartment. There was so much of it. There was buildings, there was people, there was nights, there was surreal scenes with like two suns, and just like recalling everything makes you realize that you have seen that art in two other places. You are pretty sure that you recognize the hand of Leo on two other things. The book that was being reproduced with all the incidents that happened in the last 500 years. The one that is being written, all the illustrations seems very Leo to you. And more weirdly, the posters for the theater representation that is happening tomorrow.
Oh.
That seems to be a Leo original. And looking at it,
I was just looking at that.
and looking at it, there is even something that is... You're not exactly sure if you're reading too much into it, or if there is actually something odd about that. But the building that is just... the piece of the building that is just right of the exclamation point of Libération. Isn't that the same symbol?
Oh, look at that! Hidden in plain sight.
Oh boy.
But there seemed to be a very strong connection between Leo and Ambrosius, for sure.
So it's the 11th today, right?
Today is
day
the
of
11th.
What day of the week is it?
Saturday.
So this is happening tomorrow.
Yes, at 8
Okay.
p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Odile, do you
Yes.
indeed take that time to peruse through the book?
Yes.
Okay. You start to read a little bit, just bits and pieces, trying to figure out what it is. You try to see if you see some other footnotes or anything. And there is a page. You know that feeling when you read a page and you realize after 5 minutes that you've been reading the same sentence over and over and over again?
Mm-hmm.
This is what hits you. This is really what hits you the most. And the page reads as follows. Along the shore, the clouds' waves break. The twin suns sink behind the lake. The shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Strange is the night where black stars rise, and strange moons circle through the skies. But stranger still is lost Carcosa. Songs that the Hyads shall sing, where flap the tatters of the king, must die unheard in dim Carcosa. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die, though, unsung, as tears unshed shall dry and die in lost Carcosa. You cannot stop reading that page. It just sticks to you, and the more you're trying to go further in, it's not that this page itself is luring to you, it's just that you cannot go further. It takes a lot out of you to go further. You cannot go further. I need you to roll me a sanity check, please.
Okay. I had to. I was like, oh,
I know.
she's too curious.
It's a good choice.
Sanity.
Okay. You're doing alright so far, but as you just decide to close the book, feeling a little bit out of breath for a second, you watch through the window just to see a flash. And everything seems black. The sky is red for a second, and all the building seems twisted and at the wrong place, and everything is back to normal. It was just for an instant. But you saw something. You saw Strasbourg, but not the way it is. You're not exactly sure what just happened, but you saw something.
Guys, this is not good. This is not good. This is beyond us. This is beyond our world. This is something that wants to invade.
You do realize you're just randomly saying that to us as we're discussing this investigation.
Yeah. She's like stops like yeah.
You can see that Odile's whole demeanor suddenly changed. She was just perusing just 2 minutes ago, just looking through some pages, and now she's pale, her breath is like staggered. She's worried, she's terrified.
They're trying to unleash something into this world, and we need to stop them, or it's going to get really bad.
Well, yeah, I think the room full of explosives would tell us that much. The plans to flood the city.
Yeah.
Crazy people do crazy things. I agree. But we need to figure out how to stop them. And do we want to wait and attend this? And he starts to look at the pamphlet that everyone's passing around. La Liberation? Or is there something we want? That's not till tomorrow. No?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to wonder if things are going to go bang at that certain show.
It might be a little difficult. Police confiscating what's in there. They'll have to. There's too much of it to them to ignore. So bang's going to be hard unless there's another cave somewhere else. But it looks like they're acting on that telegram they got from some mysterious benefactor. Good job, by the way. I don't know if they'll be able to do what they're hoping to do, unless they already, I don't know, unless they have some other means of blowing things up.
What we found may purely be the surplus.
Oh, gosh.
It is being held by one of the addresses we received. That is a possible cave.
So once Janet points out that this is Leo's art on this poster, that person who's in the foreground, it's a, fairly realistic looking likeness. So I think if we asked him to draw Ambrosius for us, he could. I don't know if he will, but it's possible.
Janet, do you think you're friendly enough with him? Maybe if we brought
We
Inspiration.
should bring
Bring-
some inspiration.
Yeah.
and maybe he could do a portrait for us and just
quick
painting an old
sketch.
friend for some other old friends, maybe.
Yes, I think for today we should attempt. What time are we at during of the day?
Right now, considering everything you did the day before, you are nearing like 3 p.m.
So we should go quickly.
Yes, Percy?
Mhm.
I'm assuming we've got one of these bill posters, yes?
Yes, plus they are placarded everywhere
Everywhere.
around the city. So you can definitely take one.
The row of guys standing behind the dancey people.
Yes.
Are they in some form of uniform, or is that just the way it looks? I'm sort of drilling down on every detail.
That seems to be
the black-
more... Yeah, that seems to be more of an artistic liberty to just put focus more on the performers. They don't
Alright.
have a uniform per se.
Cool. That's. I think we should pay this Leo a visit and see
Yeah.
what we can get out of him.
Janet, do you think you can get us in, or is this more of a we get you the supplies and you do the rest, or do you want us, or do you think you can get us to come along?
I think perhaps the less people, the better. We don't.
Hmm.
Us being in a group all the time may not be the best thing. If one or
Fair.
two of you want to come visit Ezekiel,
Yeah, I would like to visit Ezekiel.
um,
Because Bridget was closest to him. So
I'll just wait in the car while we're there. I won't go in.
I'm taking the book away from Odie.
Perhaps, perhaps you should read this new translation to look at some of these events that seem, because Matthias has thumbed through the book by the monk and kind of noticed a couple of similarities in events that seem like maybe you should look at these and see if you can make some parallels to what they're trying to do. Maybe.
Okay.
Percy, do you want to go or do you want to not go to the asylum?
I don't really feel like going all that way and sitting in the car, if that's what you're asking.
No. I mean, okay. So you want to? Oh, I mean, you're going to go in then with them.
Or not. I would quite happily take the afternoon.
I'm afraid after my experiences, I don't think I would like to go there either.
Perhaps,
I
whilst
Go ahead.
whilst the others go to the asylum, we could independently set a meeting with Superintendent Levy and perhaps let him know about our investigations we've been covering, and maybe get some information on where they are at.
You want to borrow my badge?
I mean, will you not need it to get in to see Leo, perhaps, if they have to
Well,
flash the...
if you're talking to somebody in an official capacity.
That actually is not a bad idea. So that way, at least I would like that, because
I'm going to visit my friend. I'm not going there for the city.
Yeah.
I'm going to visit Ezekiel and to be there if Janet needs backup.
I will take
Charles,
your badge.
I will say, Bridget, the doctor who runs the place is not terribly fond of us females, so
Yeah, that's nothing new.
yes. Forewarned.
But yes, I'll go with Percy and have a meeting.
All right.
Okay. So as
I can.
yeah, what do you?
I'll say I can call a car for us to go to the asylum.
I was
So.
going to say, it's like, yep, you've got further to go, but Percy's not letting you have his car.
I don't need it.
Oh, snap.
All right. You do manage to get yourself a car without too much trouble. And you guys are making your way to Brumat, which is just 25 kilometers away.
We need to stop for
And-
some inspiration first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the gentleman.
So, as you're... What kind of inspiration would you buy? Would it be more in the liquor department or more into the fine wine?
Liquor.
Liquor. Fair enough. So, by the time you drive to Brumat to the Stephansfeld Asylum, Percy and Matthias, it is fairly easy to find the gendarmerie. Everybody knows where it is, people like to know where the gendarmerie is. And at the moment, the person at the front desk is just looking at you like, hello, gentlemen, what can I do for you?
We would like to set a meeting with Superintendent Levy if he's available, or we can come back at a different time. We're here on city business.
And I flash
Oh.
Bridget's badge.
Well, I think he will probably want to see you. Just give me 1 second. He goes to an office and just comes back to you and say, second office on the left, Mr. Levy will see you now.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you, sir. In we go.
Yes, you do. As you get in, he does not get up. As a matter of fact, he just stays in his seat. And he looks tired, to say the least. He invites you to sit down. So, city business, huh?
My name is Herbert Cunningham. This is Matthias von Lemberg. We're contracted by Charles Bongens.
Mm-hmm.
Been investigating, and we thought it was timely that we come and check in with you. Mr. Bongens did say that we could speak with you regarding our investigations.
He did. Okay, because last time that he and I talked, he was not extremely happy with my discoveries, or lack thereof.
Did you find anything interesting this morning?
What's that supposed to mean?
He's giving it a grin, like
Like, I know what
we
you
were-
found.
We were
not so much that he knows what he found,
Yeah.
but that he knows that they were places.
around. Yeah. We were investigating around the construction site for signs of sabotage when we saw the police nearby. It looked like a pretty big operation.
Pretty big operation. There were like a very small handful of incidents that happened. Hold up. And he just opens a drawer and pulls out a list that was apparently provided by Charles Bongens. So this is
I
the
meant
list. This is the list that he asked me to investigate on. And honestly, that does not seem like a great operation, like a huge operation to me. It's just some random accidents that happen very often in construction sites.
Maybe
go
we
ahead.
cut to the chase. Yes.
Mhm.
We saw your operation in Place Colbert this morning.
Oh, interesting. And may I ask what you were doing there at the time? You don't seem to be locals, if you don't mind me saying.
We were investigating our problems, the things that were not very important. They led us there.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
he just gives a new look at Bridget's badge. Trying to like you think he's trying to gauge if that is actually official or if that's, you know. And he
You
just
may contact Charles if you wish. His man will look, I'm sure, authenticate it.
I will do so. Just give me 1 second. And he goes out for just a few moments. Do you do something while he's coming back, or do you just stand by?
Do we want to strategize, or are we just
have a sneaky
Yeah.
peeky at whatever's on his desk without
I will
touching
look-
anything, just reading.
I'll watch
from
the door to
this-
make sure you know when he's coming back. I'll just stand there to wait for him to return.
Okay. Just having a quick sneak, you can see that he has a bunch of papers that were bundled in the same paper that he just showed you with the list of incidents. You can see the letter that was sent by Charles to him. Up to you if you want to like take it or read it, because it might take you a little bit of time. You don't know exactly how much time you have in front of you, so let me know what you do with it. You can also see a copy of what he replied to Charles Bongens.
I personally wouldn't risk doing anything too dastardly in a cop's office.
Sounds good. He comes back after just a few moments. Well, dear old Philip confirmed that you were indeed sent by him, so yeah. Yes,
No, I
indeed,
understand.
we did find some explosives, and it is troublesome to say the least. We did not expect that many. We did not expect this kind, and most of all, we did not expect to be notified about it through a anonymous telegram. I'm starting to get annoyed and nervous.
We believe that the people who were doing these acts of sabotage were related to some of the locations that you were checking out. They when we went
That
to
seems odd.
confront
That was
them,
months
they
ago.
yes, but they've been doing other things, more subtle things. Like they've changed what they're trying to do, I think. But they shot at us at one point.
Wait. Back down a second. Who is they?
I give them what information we had on those three who we had a little bit of a fight with earlier.
A little bit.
Okay, so my question to you would be how many details do you give him about how the fight went on?
I gave them identifying details of the people we were engaged with. I imply that they attacked the guy in front of us, and that they had weapons, and that we were, like they saw us, and so we defended ourselves and ran away without really knowing what was happening. Basically, I try to imply like things got real violent, we all got scattered, and we all ran away, not expecting this level of violence. Obviously, we went to have a meeting with Charles, and suddenly these guys show up and start killing people and hurting them real bad at the very least, and we did what we had to and ran away. I mean, when we got separated, we all knew that could be very dangerous. We left. And obviously, one of them at least got away. We don't know where he went. They had a partner, a third person. I don't know what happened to him, but he was also they were all very violent. And by the time we gathered together and figured out what happened, the police had already been notified.
What can you tell me about that third person?
I give them a very brief description of what was his name?
Chris.
The guy, Chris, yes. Oh. And we're not sure if any of this is their real names, but they were behind all the sabotage that was going on the at the breakthrough. And
so I know Chris is the homeless guy.
Oh no, not Chris.
Franz.
The other guy.
Or
Franz. Yes, Franz.
Gotcha.
Franz. And Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, in the chaos, we didn't know what was where they went. There was 3 of them at least at one point, but we don't know what happened to the 3rd man. The other 2 got hurt very bad, and we just had to get out of there. We didn't know whether there were more people going to come to do things to us, so we fled. But we did find addresses on one of them that were, and I only give them a partial list, like just one's nearby and around here. Including the one that had the explosives in it. I don't give them any more details than that. Like, this is just stuff we managed to find from their stuff. We don't know. Obviously we couldn't ask them what that was about because they responded so violently.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we were at when you showed up. And
to be completely frank, Mynheer, I'm not exactly sure how you came up with this information and like where you actually, like how you provided yourself with them, considering you had a violent encounter that you very promptly ran away from.
We found this through our other investigations. That they must have figured out we were getting close when they invited us out there. And I show them the telegram, obviously, but it says.
Percy's gonna give it the old win in a hole. Stop digging, mate.
But I'm giving him just the telegram that says to come meet Charles out there. That would verify my story. That's it. That's all I gave him. That I've already said that's what happened. I have proof.
Interesting.
We've been on this investigation for quite some time, and there has been my counterpart here is quite enthusiastic, and I must but do not take this as his enthusiasm. We've been working on this a very long time, and we came here out of respect for the city, that we need to get on the same page with where you're at with your investigation. And I think we could work better together by shared information. My question for you is, what is your take on City Hall and this Charles Bongens?
I'm not exactly sure, to be completely honest. He seems like a nice enough fella. When he like exposed his problems to me, he was very, passionate about the project. And to be fair, I do believe that the breakthrough is going to be great for the city. But I don't know. Something feels a bit off, and I cannot put my finger on it, and that is starting to be a problem.
We have, I do believe you police sorts call it a hunch. Percy's trying to keep the mood a bit light.
Light mood, yeah.
My hunch is that there's obviously something high going on, and I'm not sure whether Charles is in on it or if he's just a damned fool.
I mean, both are not necessarily mutually exclusive, in my experience. But it should definitely keep an eye on that. Now, the problem is, as you can imagine, I cannot necessarily condone civilian activities in Strasbourg, especially considering that neither of you gentlemen is French. That is not really helping me giving you agency to do anything. So, I want to make it clear that you should not continue to investigate on the matter, and that in no way did I give you the go-ahead to do so.
Understood.
Percy's gonna give it the old.
you
so
hear
just,
a big sigh.
But he wants to do to check whether that's him saying it is an official capacity, but keep doing what you're doing. Like, can I do some insight on that?
Is there a wink implied in that? Yeah. Can I as well?
Yeah, give me a wink save. That's gonna be a wisdom save.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Matthias?
Wisdom?
Yes, please. Yeah, he's definitely giving you the go-ahead.
So I give the nod, Percy.
You can sense that he's giving you the go ahead to look into it, but not act on it. He wants to know what's happening, most of all.
Yeah. So Matthias would just be like, well, if something happens to, if we happen to notice something that we think is relevant to you, we'll definitely let you know.
Yes, which you will not, since you will not continue this investigation, of course. But
yeah, of course.
Should you
I
come?
just, if we remember something that you might find important, of course we come to you.
I appreciate that.
One more thing, sir, before we depart.
Yes.
And Percy's going to hand over one of the La Liberation bill posters. I have a hunch about this, and I think this should probably be shut down.
That thing?
Mhm.
These are hippies. These are just like a bunch of beer geeks that just want to have their, great representation and moment in the sun in a city being rebuilt. That's nothing.
No, but we think.
I
we
do
think
believe this.
Sorry, Percy, what was that?
I do believe that this might be the climax, shall we say, of whatever plans are afoot, and it is being used as a ruse to get many people in one spot.
Theater. As the pinnacle of the dark things that are happening right now with explosive. Theater.
Well, think if you're to plant an explosive somewhere, you want to guarantee, and you wanted to make it an act of terrorism. Why you would try to sync it with an event where people would be out? No, these guys are criminals.
It depends on the kind of activism. If their plan is to just destroy some important building or something, they don't necessarily mean the loss of lives. Maybe they're trying to get people out. Maybe this theater troupe is just some youngsters trying to express their creative mind. There's a lot of them. I will follow up on the explosives, yes. But the theater group, that's on you.
Like I said, it may not even be the theater group. Maybe somebody just using the event for whatever they're trying to do. So maybe just having people investigate around to see if there's any unsavory types. I mean, theater hippies, one thing, but maybe somebody who stands out. I don't know. It's a hunch we have.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will try to prioritize, but I will keep that in mind. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, though. I appreciate that.
This is definitely becoming more of a police matter than we anticipated. We thought, so we thought we should come to you.
I do appreciate that you did not take the matters into your own hands. We have enough troubles as it is without working with the vigilantes.
Oof.
Well,
no.
Gentlemen, where can I reach you if need be?
You can send word to Petit Papillon.
Okay.
And vigilantes is a rather strong term, seeing we are actually working for the council.
Yes, but, any action taking into the city that regards to police work that is not done by police is technically a little bit of vigilantism. But
perhaps if vigilantes are getting further along than the police and sending telegram tip-offs to explosives, maybe you should try doing some police work.
Yes. Have a good day now.
We are, just for emphasis, we are gentlemen. We are not vigilantes. We will, of course, notify you if there are things that the police will need to take care of, like any good citizen.
Well, of course.
My friend is just, it's been, we were not expecting the investigation to be anything more than a few disgruntled employees doing, breaking stones illegally. This has gotten, both of us have gotten excited. My apologies if we offend. Bye.
No offense whatsoever.
I make no apologies.
Well, if you don't mind, I must apologize myself and just continue working. I wish you
Good
both
day.
a very good day.
Day.
And I need both of you to roll a smoke check for that conversation. Wow. Alright. Matthias, that took a lot out of you. To try to, balance what you feel, what you should say, what you should not say. There was like a few moments where you felt a little bit uncomfortable.
Little bit.
Percy's reaction you were not completely agreeing with. That took a lot out of you. And right now, you need to not people for a bit. You are currently exhausted for smoke checks, so any social interaction would probably not be done by you. Meanwhile, ladies, you are reaching Stefansfeld's asylum. What kind of entry are you doing? Are you trying to be overt, sneaky? What do you do?
Oh, I'm just, before we go in, Janet, should we go in together or should I go in to see Ezekiel and you go in separately?
No, let's go in together. Let's
Okay.
go to first see Ezekiel, and then I will break off
Okay.
and go find Leo.
Okay.
He's not that much further away.
Can we have grabbed another one of those posters? Because I think maybe
Oh, yeah.
we can ask him about that and the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
If there's time.
Mm-hmm. Odile, what side of the trip would you be? Like, would you be more towards Ezekiel, more towards Leo? What would you do?
Probably more towards Ezekiel.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm staying in the car. I'm not going in.
Okay, you're staying in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Just reading the monk's account.
Yeah.
Of things.
Okay.
Still trying to figure things out.
Okay. Janet, are you trying to conceal the bottle in any way?
Yeah, because he's technically not supposed to have it, even though I think the nurses knew that he was getting stuff, but the one nurse got let go. So yeah, I'm gonna try to conceal, and I have prestidigitation, which gives
Yes,
me...
you do. So I would give you
Slide
advantage on a dexterity save on this one.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
Okay, well, I mean, that does save, but I'll roll again.
That does save, but yeah, that's good. All good. You do manage to just find a place in your, jacket and your purse, and just trying to make sure that nobody just gives a look this way. And your whole experience as a nurse has been not being seen by important people. So you're leaning into that and getting on your way to Leo's room. It is currently empty. However, you can look around. There are like a few nurses here and there, a few doctors as well. What do you do?
Is the door to his room unlocked?
Seems to be.
Can I open it?
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to be discreet about this?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, that's going to be a dexterity save.
Again with prestidigitation. I hate that word so much.
Yes, agreed. As a French
Okay.
person, I wholeheartedly agree and give you advantage whatever you do.
Okay.
So roll me a dex save. Woohoo!
Oh, that was very good. I'll roll again.
Yeah.
anyways.
Oh, that was twice
Same
very good.
thing. Beautiful.
So
this is the only game I roll well in. Just to
because you have
prepare.
to roll low. That's a secret. With a lot of ease and experience that you have learned through your side activities, will I call them, you manage to sneak into the room and be just taking in the environment. You can see paintings, new ones. You can actually see one of you. That looks very lifelike. That's very interesting. You do have like a shadow over your shoulder somehow that you cannot really, justify or explain. But he's been painting, and you can see that the walls now are covered with some sketches and tries of... It seems to be Strasbourg from the top. just an aerial view of Strasbourg. The streets don't match. It's beautiful, but the streets don't match whatsoever. The walls themselves are covered with just some brush strokes and colors, all kinds of vibrant colors, and it takes you a little bit of time to actually take a step back and realize that like the whole wall is just this one enormous yellow sign. One of the paintings that you see is a lounge, a room, a very nice room, with 2 reading easels, a couch, and a liquor cabinet not too far from it. Except from that, the room itself is fairly empty. Are you looking for something specific? What would you do?
The first thing I'd like to do is slip the bottle of inspiration under his pillow on his bed.
Alright. The bottle is now neatly stashed away. Just enough for him to know that something is there, but not enough to raise suspicion from the doctors.
Excellent. The painting of Strasbourg where the roads don't match.
Yes.
Does it look similar to the map that we found of Diedemeyer's plans originally?
Not in the slightest.
No.
It seems completely shifted. You can see that this is definitely a map of Strasbourg. You can see some very specific landmarks like the cathedral or the Place Kléber and some very specific landmarks, but all of the streets are askew. There is no trace of the river. It's everything about it seems different.
What about the yellow sign? What does it look like the symbol we've been seeing, or is it just something completely new and different?
Very much that symbol, yes. But
Okay.
from like roof to ground, the whole wall, like this sign just takes the entirety of the wall, or at least the entire height of the wall.
Okay. Feels like I've spent probably a little too much time here, so I'm going to step out and close the door.
As you do so, Bridget, you find quite easily the room for Ezekiel. It is currently empty. There are... Yes?
I'll go in if it's not locked.
No, it is locked right now.
Okay. Is it empty, like nobody is assigned there, or just they're not in there at the moment?
It seems... Well, it's hard to say, you've never been to that place before, but the room itself does not have an occupant at the moment. You don't feel like this room is not occupied because there's a lot of things laying around just randomly, just some clothes or glasses of water just randomly. I mean, like some,
Would we have had to check in and ask for his room? So would they have, like, I'm here to see Ezekiel and this is where I was sent?
They did send you towards this room, and
Okay.
one of the nurses walking by that sees you like a little bit, confounded by that, is that, oh, if he's not here, he's probably in the mess hall. They spend a lot of time there usually for either lunches or activities, and we try to keep their mind active, So if he's not in his room, he's probably been taken to the mess hall. It's
Can you tell me how he's doing?
down the... honestly, not great. He's been doing a little bit better. He's been socializing a little bit more, but he's still obsessed with some very odd and, dare I say, scaring images. Even I got nightmares after he told me what he saw.
Oh. Yeah, he's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot,
I
but he
can
seems
go
like a
down
good
to the
soul.
mess hall?
I'm sorry? Oh, yeah,
I can go
absolutely.
down.
Like, we are within visiting hours, like, don't worry.
Is this in the same hallway? Can I see Janet?
You can just see
Really?
her coming out of the hallway just
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So do you try
So,
to go this way?
Yeah,
and...
I'll tell the nurse, thank you very much, and then I'll go see Janet.
Okay. Odile, within the
Mhm.
car, what are your thoughts right now? What exactly are you thinking about?
I'm trying not to think about the book, but it's kind of hard not to, and how it all connects. And I think I'm just trying to put pieces together,
Mhm.
but between the book with all the monk's book and then this city in yellow, trying to overlay it and see if there are things that are matching and that kind of thing.
Okay. What you can see, what you can see a little bit about like your recollection of the book and what you can see on the book and stuff like that is that never anywhere was it talking about Strasbourg specifically. Never. It was just talking about this one city, Carcosa. But for some reason, everything that you read and all those sentences that you were stuck on, that you could only picture Strasbourg. This talked to you. This is your city, and it seems like the book is talking about your city, your home. And it feels this weird disconnect is making you very, at a lot of unease. It makes sense. You try to look around a little bit and try to take your mind off the book and just looking at the asylum. It is very well kept. There are beautiful gardens all around it. You can see a few of the patients just having a morning, like a late afternoon stroll. And you are really taken aback by the amount of sadness that this place exudes. It's supposed to give you a sense of like happiness. There are flowers, there are colors. It's beautiful, but everybody here is grim and gray in their demeanor, whether it be the patients or the healthcare professionals. Everybody's just glum, and you start to feel glum too. You start to just like look at the ground, look at everything. Seems a bit muddy here. And it has this very weird hue, this sort of like, it's not like brown dirt that you're used to. It has more like of a clay texture to it, like a little bit more reddish. You have not seen that very often. The last time you've seen that was on footprints in Ambrosia's apartment. Is there something you would like to do where you are right now?
Can I what do I have on me that could help me? Let's see. Is there any way to like take a sample of this clay?
Yeah, absolutely. It would probably make a little bit of a mess in your purse. It's a little bit too chic to usually house some dirt, but yeah, you can definitely do that.
I'll take a sample of that just to take notice.
Sounds good. And just as you get out of the car and take that sample, you just see this one man that is looking at you. He's just not too far, just 2 or 3 meters away, and he's just looking at you with this sort of air of sadness. But he's smiling. He's like sobbing somehow. He has tears running down his cheek, but he's smiling. As he's like exalted somehow. And the view of that man just gives you chills. As you see in front of you, Ezekiel. He just looks at you. He's sobbing. He keeps sobbing, and you see his eyes are puffy and red. He's been crying for a while now. He said, "It's going to come soon.
No.
He showed me. It's gonna be beautiful. He showed me. It's gonna be beautiful. You'll see. You will all see. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be... Yes. Yes.
No. We'll stop. We'll stop it.
No! Don't! And he just comes to you, grabs you by the shoulders. No! It needs to happen. It needs to come. The city will change. Everything will be beautiful.
No, it can't. It can't change.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I had everything that I needed to change people in my vials, in my liquids, and I thought it was helping people, but it did not. It was just some placebo. It did not change anything. But this will change stuff. Everything will change, and everything will be beautiful. Everything.
I don't think so. Odie will start crying with him, like even though he's like smiling, but she's kind of heartbroken seeing her friend like this. Like
he gently puts his hands on your cheeks. It's like, you will see soon. You will. I know you will. And he just looks into your eyes. He's saying, you've seen part of it. Soon you will see the whole picture. It took me a while to realize what I was saying. And it seemed scary at first. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's gonna be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
No, Ezekiel, it can't be like that. It can't be.
You'll see. When it happens, you'll see, and I will be here to show you. I will guide you through it. He showed me some of the way. He showed me some of the path, and you'll see. It's gonna
Who
be
showed
great.
you the path? Who showed it to you?
The architect. The painter. He knows the city. He's seen it. He knows it in and out. And it's gonna be amazing. I cannot explain, but I know it is going to be beautiful.
Well, let's get you inside.
Yes, I think I would like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. It's so good
It's
to
good
see
to see you too. Yeah. And she'll put an arm around to trying to lead him back to the inside.
He lets you lead him. He opposes no resistance whatsoever. He is a ragdoll in your hands. The nurses see you arrive with him and seem a bit worried at the time. Is he okay? What happened?
No, he's fine. He was just out
I'm
talking.
sorry. Sometimes they wander off when they go into the garden, and don't worry, he's safe. He would not have gone far. We definitely have security and stuff, but I'm glad he saw you.
I believe you.
Were you close?
Who's a friend of ours? It's been a while though.
I understand.
I had hoped he would get better.
Keep hope.
Kind of hard to see him.
Keep hope. It takes time sometimes, but it happens. It definitely happens. Like, I've seen some people recover, and I'm not saying that life is going to be exactly the way it was, but, knowing that he has some people that love him is going to definitely help him. Trust me.
Yeah.
You did good.
We'll try and be better about visiting.
It's okay. Take a little glass of water. It's gonna help you.
She'll do that, and then she'll immediately head back outside and get in the car and just weep.
All right. Before we come back to the guys, Janet and Bridget, when you arrive at the mess hall, you can see what you, Janet, recognize as Leo in the middle of painting. He is just throwing strokes at the painting and just smiling. He's radiant, he's glowing, and he's doing what he loves right now. It's just a brush here and, oh, that's beautiful. That's so pretty. Yes, that's not how it should be. And he takes another swipe. And a lot of the patients are just sitting nearby and watching him do. Everybody's just smiling and happy to see a person so involved in their craft and in their passion. What do you guys do?
Can we tell what he might be painting?
What you see is dark. It's like a shape. It's like a silhouette. But it seems grotesque. You can see wide wings. At first you mistake for stork wings, but they are a little bit more raggedy. It's hard to describe. The like face seems, well, it doesn't really have a face, but the head is like very round and human-like. But the rest of the body is just grotesque, as if like a gargoyle suddenly grew skin. But it's all in black and white and nuances of gray, and it's very much less in the realistic side of things, but it's, you know, it's definitely a Leo original, for sure.
Right.
When you get closer, he has this look of recognition towards you, Janet. It's like, I know you, I remember you. He turns to Bridget. You I do not. Oh, you're beautiful. I should paint you. Yes. Yes, don't you see? This, come on, you, oh yes, yes. He just takes the whole painting and tosses it aside. He just takes a blank canvas and starts frantically painting. And you can see a stern jawline, and he just adds a little bit of roundness and just like softness into the side. And in an unnaturally slim amount of time, you can see the outskirts of your face, Bridget. And it looks good. It looks like you, just maybe a bit softer, maybe a bit sadder. It's hard to say. The eyes are not right, but the rest of your face is very good. Look, look. I will finish it later, of course, but look. Don't you feel beautiful?
If that's the way you see me, that's really nice. That's very good painting.
That's the way you are. It's not a matter of seeing, it's a matter of knowing. It keeps painting, just like still listening, but just painting.
Did it?
Leo,
Yes.
could we make a request for a painting?
Why, yes. And he just tosses Bridget's portrait aside, half finished. You can see that half of your face has been painted already, but the rest is just tossed aside.
No,
What
that's
would-
super awkward for her.
What would help you, my dear? What would you like to see?
I would like to see one of your friends.
My friends, I have many
Ambrose?
friends in here. Ambrosius, you've met.
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to see his face.
Oh, he's very recognizable. You're right. He has charisma. He has a presence. He has. Oh, yes. And he just takes a new canvas and starts to sketch. This time, way more precise. Small strokes, small pieces, a little bit of charcoal here to darken part of his outfit. You can see that at first a round head with not that much hair. One part of the drawing seems to be disturbing at first. You feel like there's something coming out of his mouth until you actually realize that he just has his hands in front of him holding a cane. And the more he draws and the faster he draws, and the faster he draws, the more realistic it looks. This is the image he comes up with at the moment. It takes him a bit of time though, don't mind. Like, with all his speed and efficiency and art, it takes him at the very least half an hour to get something close to that.
Oh, yeah, that's not creepy at all.
This is my
That
friend.
doesn't look like Elder Brano.
No, he's. You know, you should not. No. And this is the same mistake that you do with yourself, my dear. Look past the image. Think about who he is. He is a good person. He has plans. He is amazing, and I'm proud to consider this person my friend. Extremely proud. I hope I did
Have you
him justice
seen
with
him?
that painting.
Does this
I'm
guy look
sorry?
familiar at all?
You have never seen that person in your life.
Okay.
Has he been by lately, Leo?
No, not lately. He has spent a lot of time in Berlin, but I think he will want to be here soon. He doesn't want to miss it.
Miss what?
Oh, you don't know yet. It's okay. It's okay. I would not want to spoil the surprise, but trust me. And he just leans closer to you two, and almost in a whisper, soon. It's gonna be beautiful. Soon. He just goes back to his painting, try to adjust pieces of ambrosius, like, no, this is wrong. Then he takes a little bit of white paint and just adjusts like some very quick strokes. Like, this is more right. I always have trouble with the eyes. Yes, I will do that again. And he redoes them.
Ambrosius? Would it be okay if I had this painting?
My name is Leo.
Yep.
um,
Janet knows that. Chelsea.
I
Yep.
mean, do you have a way to carry it? I wouldn't want it to be damaged in the process.
Of course not. My friend here, Bridget, is very strong.
I know. But she has a gentleness in her. She doesn't know it yet, but she has.
Very
I
much
can
so.
see it. I can see
And then
it.
I'll lean in and whisper, and there's some inspiration in your room for you.
His eyes light up. Oh, my dear. Let me promise you something right now. I, Leo Schnook, will never in my life forget that. I will remember you and what you have done for me, and it is with an immense pleasure that I give you this painting.
Thank you. It's
You-
always good to be a patron of the arts.
I feel like I can call you a friend at some point. Not yet. We need to be closer, but soon. First a muse, then a friend.
We're just gonna take out the poster
Mhm.
of Liberación.
Oh, it looks so weird when it is down like that. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm happy with how it turned out.
We're looking forward to going to this tomorrow.
Oh, you should.
These buildings in the back are interesting. Is it from the location that it's going to happen?
Oh, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's I had to draw from memory because I haven't been in those streets in quite a while, quite a few years, but this is how I remember them.
And she's going to point out the symbol. Is
Yes.
that there, or is that a little something you added?
Huh. That's a good question. Sometimes when you let yourself be taken by the art works through you, so I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. I think maybe I just ripped and tried to correct it as much as I could. I don't know. But that is odd. But
Who
you've got to
commissioned you
admit.
make this?
Oh, a theater troupe. They're called La Libération. They are absolutely fantastic people, and they have heard of my work through what I've done at the Kammerzel, and they are very, they seem to be admiring all forms of art, all sorts of, artistic endeavors, and as such, I had to help. Art is everything. art is everywhere. So, it was my duty to help. Don't you agree?
It's a beautiful poster. Yeah, you did great.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I was afraid of how the printing process would lessen the drawing, but I think he captured it quite well. That's great. Thank you for showing me that. You made my day.
You're welcome. Hold it up and put it back.
When he gives you both the painting of Ambrosius, be careful. The paint is still somewhat wet. You don't want it to drip.
How big is the canvas?
It's not that big. It's like, how can I describe it in imperial units? This is basically like two comics books side by side, basically. It's not huge. It's not huge. It's easily transportable. Not easily concealable, but easily transportable.
Okay.
Now, dear ladies, I'm sorry, but I think that dinner is about to happen soon, and the earlier I eat, the earlier I will get inspiration.
Just one more question is, we're just going to say, do you know our friend Ezekiel? He wasn't in his room.
Ah, Ezekiel. This man is a gentle soul, and I am absolutely convinced that he's going to have a role to play in everything. He has this openness about himself, you know. He allows himself to be vulnerable and to see past what you're supposed to see. Deep down, in his own twisted way, he is an artist as well, in his own way. But he's good. Do not worry about him. I take extremely good care of him. I very much took a liking to that person. We paint together sometimes, do you know?
You do what together?
We paint.
Oh, paint.
I teach him the rudimentaries.
I know his skill in brewing things. I didn't know he was artistic in another way.
Well, he did not know either, but it's growing on him. Now, Pip, I need to work. But have the greatest of days, ladies.
You as well, Leo.
And as you two, painting in hand, come back to your car and find a very distraught Odile, we're just going to have a quick look at Percy and Matthias. Coming out of the gendarmerie, what exactly would you like to do? The day is quite advanced already, so there's not a lot of things that you can do until the sun sets, but do you have any plans?
No. Go back to the hotel.
Cool.
I've
Matthias?
peopled as much as I can today, so yes, hotel.
Hotel. Okay, sounds good. So, ladies, you make your way back to Strasbourg?
Do we need to make checks for all the talking?
Oh yes, there's gonna be a smoke check from everybody, like all you ladies, at the very least. Success for Jant, you're doing great.
Okay, here we go.
Smoke roll.
Oh, the
I am out
dice
of
tell
smoke.
the story. Oh, that
Yep.
is so accurate. Odile, the whole way back, you've been silent. It took so much out of you to see your friend in that condition. And even when they tried to talk to you a little bit and see why you were in that condition, it took a lot. Right now, you just need to be. You cannot just... You can't interact with people anymore for a bit. You need to rest.
So do we know that she saw Ezekiel, or could she not communicate that to us right now?
I would say that with that role, she did not manage to communicate that. But you can see that something has traumatized her deeply.
Yeah.
I'm
Bridget
not
will
sure
try
exactly what, but...
They're there. Yeah, she's super awkward about it.
That needs to be a sticker. Bridget going there.
Being super awkward about it.
Yeah.
Do you make your way back to the Petit Papillon? Do you do a
Yeah.
stop on the way?
And in the car ride, Janet will talk about the new paintings in Leo's room, especially the top to floor big yellow symbol. Strasbourg looking weird. Won't mention the one about her though.
Okay. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll ask Odile if she's ever seen the man in the picture.
You have not.
Mm-mm. Don't know who that is.
And I will anticipate the question if you ask that to your male colleagues, they have not either. It's a brand new face to you all.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You arrive at the hotel, and once again, dine at the expenses of Percy. Percy, could I get a wealth check, please?
Absolutely
Your
good.
Your expenses are bottomless. You have no problem with that. And it's just a meal, it's nothing. But nonetheless, you take your dinner in relative silence. Do you debrief with the guys, or do you just call it a day and wait for the next day to arrive?
I think we over dinner give a wrap up of what's happening.
Yeah, you crisscross information and make sure that everybody's up to date with everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's really
yes.
hard to get. Oh, go ahead,
No,
Matthias.
go on.
No, go ahead and finish.
I was just gonna say it's really hard to get anything out of Odie. She does eventually, like Ezekiel. He's not coming back. He's lost it, and he thinks I'm gonna lose it too. And maybe he's right. You know, I mean, I don't know. And so she'll like try and explain, but it's terrible explanation of what happened to her.
Yes, Matthias?
Oh, I was gonna say when the ladies come in, they'd probably see Matthias asking Percy about, like, should we have mentioned Diedelmeyer to Superintendent? I know we didn't, but now I'm having second thoughts. Maybe he might be able to find this chap. I don't know. I'm just spitballing at this point.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what the girls dug up, but I think Superintendent Levy is an empty suit.
Yeah, but he can be a pain in the ass to somebody else besides us, hopefully.
Yes, well, what I mainly wanted to find out, and we did, was that they acted very promptly on our telegram, so they had nothing themselves. That was
Yeah,
what I hoped to
know.
achieve.
I was hoping they
So-
had something else too, maybe.
Yes, I hoped so too, but
Yeah.
it was pretty
Yeah,
apparent
no.
they didn't. And
Yeah.
the fact that he didn't take La Libération seriously was telling.
Yeah.
So we're going to
Yeah.
have to go along and hope that the girls have. Oh, here they are.
Their ears must have been burning. They're coming in so quickly.
Okay. So, unless you had other things to do during that day, we can...
As long as everybody's got
Every-
the information. And
I would assume that everybody's aware of everything that has been openly communicated. If you want to
Except for
hide
Odile.
something...
Yeah, we'll have to probably get heard tomorrow.
Okay. You all go to spend the night. Odile, you are
Yes.
riddled with nightmares. You started by being warm and, overall hot and distraught. You were sweating, you had trouble finding sleep, and all you could see was Ezekiel in front of you. He's still smiling, he's still crying, and he starts to recite the book to you. Along the shores, the cloud waves break, the twin suns sink behind the lake, the shadows lengthen in Carcosa, and he gets closer. What do you do?
I turn around and run away from him.
Try to run away from him. You see the road in front of you just like distort and lengthen. You hear behind you, strange is the night where the black stars rise and strange moons cycle through the skies, but stranger still is lost Carcosa. What do you do? You keep running.
I keep running right now. Yeah.
You keep running, and you see a shape forming in the horizon. You're getting closer. You can see that something is there that you can reach, that you can attain. And behind you, songs that the Hyats shall sing where flaps the towers of the king must die unheard in Carcosa. And you get closer and you run. And you can see the shape being a church? A cathedral? Yes, it is Strasbourg Cathedral. You're getting closer, you can see it. You're now in front of the Parvis, the big ass square in front of it. What do? He's behind you, he's getting closer.
I run into the cathedral.
Okay, the doors are locked. The only place you can see right now is like a set of stairs coming up to go to the sort of Parvis that is on top of the cathedral, just overlooking the whole square.
Okay.
Do you climb up?
Yeah.
You start to climb up the stairs. You do one story. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. And you do another story. Die, though, unsung, as tears unshed. And you keep climbing, and you reach the sort of like Parvis, like the upper floor. You are now on the roof, the sort of side roof of the cathedral. Shall dry and die in lost Carcosa. And you just look at the city that is currently flooded, changing. You see fire in the streets. You can see 2 suns in the sky, red suns. The buildings are shifting, not exactly solid. The people are in shambles. Not only their clothes, but their faces. They seem distorted. You can just see this one pool. This sort of like small lake in front of the cathedral. And a shape starts to rise up from it. Slowly, piece by piece. Tentacles? Shadows, you're not sure. And you start to try to step back, but behind you is Ezekiel holding you by the shoulders and forcing you to watch. And the thing is rising more and more. You can now see eyes. You can see a yellow sort of drape above his head. And you just hear the whisper, Carcosa. And you wake up. And you are sweating intensely.
Oh no.
I need you to roll me a sanity check, please.
Okay, sanity.
This cannot be real. This is just...
It's just
It's
a dream.
just a
It's
vision.
just a dream.
You know that it's just because you saw Ezekiel and you were distraught by that. This is all there is. This is just your imagination doing its work. It's okay. It's okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna find your friends today. You're gonna investigate. Everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're still tired though. You still have not recovered your resources, but at the moment you feel that you need to be with your friends. They will save you. They are the way you will keep safe.
We can make it through. We've
And
got to
thus-
stop it.
And thus starts Sunday, September 12th, 1920. You guys rise up, probably meet for breakfast as you have done so far, to see a quite tired ordeal. But nevertheless, the day is yours. What do you do?
Percy will perhaps ask Odie if she wants to take the day.
Yeah, I think
you're no good. You're no good to us exhausted, and in my experience, exhausted people can sometimes make rash decisions.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But today is the day of the theater, and I would want to be able to help you all.
As far as game mechanics go, with
Mhm.
exhaustion and resting and stuff like that,
Yes.
like if she took the morning,
If she
and
took the
rest?
morning,
Is it like a whole day or is it a half day thing? Like, because I feel
A
like that's
whole
going to become pretty important.
I would say that if she just takes the morning, you would not be able to recover one whole resource. You would be able to regain 1 point in either flashlight, smoke, or sanity. Not sanity. Sanity would be too much to ask right now, but smoke or flashlight. But you would need to keep out of the morning at least. Yes.
Okay.
It's up to
This
you
is-
as a player.
This is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
rules as
no.
written, but this is how I'm calling it.
That's okay. I think I will spend the morning like resting and not doing anything. Let you all hit up whatever you need to hit up before the theater tonight.
Yeah, the theater's at 8 tonight. So.
Yeah.
Do you already plan a place to reconvene? A place and a time where you would guys gather again?
I can meet you all for lunch at that one restaurant.
Oh,
You know.
the one
We
that's
made-
the one that's close to the construction site.
Construction site.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Meet you
What
What
guys
was
there
that place called again?
around one. Shit.
I had it somewhere. Give me a sec. I can find
Nope,
it.
that's not what it's called.
I can find it. Shit, I had it. Empoisonnement collectif. Yes.
L'homme libre.
Yes. L'homme libre, the free man.
My search skills.
Oh, you're better than
Yes.
the DM. Good job on this one. All right.
We'll meet you there for lunch, Odile.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So the rest of you, while Odile is taking as much of a nap as she can muster, what are you doing?
Do we want to try to talk to the theater troupe and encourage them to cancel the performance since the police are not taking that seriously?
Well, maybe not go in with the thought to make them cancel, but maybe we could find out a bit more about who is driving them, if they are being driven, or whether our hunch is that this is a coincidence.
What
Well,
about
But
they
I
sought out
haven't-
an artist.
What about-
I have an angle for that.
what
They
about
sought
who's,
out an artist in an asylum for their poster. I think something's behind it.
what about who's backing them? To
That's
have
exactly what I'm talking about.
who they have monies coming from somewhere if they're having posters printed on a press.
And that was going to be my angle as a new businessman in Strasbourg looking to invest in the arts is a good way of carrying favor with people. So as potential inquiry about Cunningham Motors supporting their troop going forward.
I don't know if I'd be that much
But-
help to you guys about that sort of thing.
But we need to find these. What did you call them, Matthias? Hippies?
Bohemians, if you prefer. It does not translate well to French. Hippie. It does not go over. It is an Austrian word.
Okay.
You know what? I might take the morning off then if that's what you're doing as well, because I just don't think I could deal with anybody right now. I'm just tired of talking to people. I feel like we do that a lot, and it's starting to take a toll.
That is fair. My thoughts are the same with Odile. We need you at your best.
I'll meet you guys for lunch then.
Okay. And then there were 3.
Is there an art district in Strasbourg?
I was gonna ask Bridget, being the circusy type.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was just going to ask, like, have I heard of this troupe before? Do I know where? You know, this is kind of my background, so
Or at least where to start asking.
yeah.
If you have heard of them, they are how can I say? They're not top tier artists, to be completely honest. You've heard of them. They were mostly trying to do a few representation in the university neighborhood, near the Esplanade and everything. But it's always been a little bit cringy, not exactly your style. So you try to avoid them as much as possible, especially considering some of them had a lot of delusion of grandeur, like we belong in Paris on the big stage and everything, and the few representation that you have seen from that troupe were always like Shatner level of overacting.
They're like Panto, just like
Pretty
really extra. Okay.
Pretty much, but you would know where to find them though. Like they're quite easy to find, mostly in the Esplanade neighborhood.
Okay. Let's go do that.
Okay.
We're gonna show up in a Rolls Royce to Panto people.
Well, if you want to invest, I mean, it's the way to make an impression.
Yep.
It takes you a bit of time to actually spot one. You've seen them around, you can recognize them, but for some reason they're like harder to find and harder to spot. And you end up seeing them trying to glue some more posters here and there, trying to raise awareness. Some people are just like trying to do their thing and walk around, and they come to them. Did you see about that? This representation is going to be this evening, and it's going to be the event of Strasbourg of the year. You should come. It is free. It is in the street. You should come. Yes, milady, you would like to be interested in that.
Yes. Storyteller question. Is
Yes.
the amount of advertising and posters and everything excessive for this kind of thing?
Considering the size of the troop, yeah, it does seem a bit excessive, yeah.
Okay. And does whoever's talking, does he seem like he's all there, or?
Oh, he does seem all there, but like a little bit too all there, if it makes sense. You know that guy is called Narcisse.
Narcisse.
Narcisse, yes.
Okay.
What's his last name? Ist?
Probably, yeah. He is quite young, in like his early 20s. He has a thick mane of black hair and disheveled clothes, and he's just frantically talking about his project and to a lot of people who are not listening right now.
Yeah.
And we're in the car, yes, so we've pulled up alongside.
Yep. You tell me.
He's gonna wind the window down and call out to him, excuse me, dear boy, a moment of your time, if you will.
Why, yes, sir, of course. And he's trying with a very exaggerated accent to actually speak English to you. And he comes closer in leaps and bounds and is like, what can I do for you, sir?
I was wondering if I may speak to one of the leaders of your troop, and if that is you, I apologize for not recognizing it instantly, but I was wondering, did you have a rehearsal space that I could visit? I've got a shall we say a business proposition that might advance your troop.
A business. That's interesting. What?
But it is the sort of thing I would rather speak about, in your offices or wherever you're based out of, rather than here on the street.
We do not have offices. We are not known enough yet to have offices for that. And to be fair, most of theater artists do not really have offices. It's a theater of the mind, you understand?
Perhaps office was the wrong word. Where do you rehearse?
Oh, it is just behind the university, right there. There is this student coffee that is usually empty during classes. This is usually where we reconvene and talk with mostly Solange and the rest of the artists.
And who is
all of that is happening in English, by the way. Like, this is the first time somebody is speaking other than French to you.
I guess I speak this whole thing with a British accent, but then I've been speaking. It's confusing. Anyway, never mind. would you care to take a ride to us and show us this place and introduce me to the person I should speak to?
Oh, absolutely. You don't need a ride. It is literally 100 meters away, and we are there.
That's all right. We will take the car.
Interesting. Then you should just park 2nd Street on the left and go down the street towards the basement. This is the place.
Will
Easy to
you
find.
be there?
Oh, I will join you right there. I will probably be there before you going by foot, but you know, you do you.
It's fine. I prefer to have my car nearby.
I mean, it is a beautiful car. I cannot judge you. See you very soon. And he starts to strut on his way towards the university.
Hey, stranger, get into my car.
So, do you guys join them?
Yep.
Okay. When you arrive, you can see that he is accompanied by a young woman with a very neatly tied bun in the back of her head, and she's just very nicely clothed. At the very least, they look out of place, as this is not something you would wear, you know, just walking in the street. This seems to be more theater clothes. They start to speak to you in French again, because apparently Solange does not speak English. Which is why I will drop the French accent now. So my friend told me that you had a business opportunity regarding our troop. That is amazing.
Yes. I'm bringing a new business to Strasbourg, and you know, like to invest in the local culture here. And I've seen an influx of your posters, so you
Yes,
seem
we're quite proud.
very prolific, and just thought I'd come by for a cursory chat. This is my colleagues Janet and Bridget, who are both
Nice to meet you.
key people within our organization. But you know, I am also would like an exclusive deal. So if you already had backers,
Oh, it's not. We don't really have backers per se. We have benefactors, of course, just like some loving people of the arts, making sure that they can promote all kinds of artistic endeavors. But we don't have like one backer, if that's what you're asking.
well, I just wondered if you had, you know, financial aid just by the sheer number of bill stickers you've had printed.
Not necessarily financial. We actually had a little help from a printing company here in Strasbourg that took our cause to their heart, because they saw that we had this beautiful poster that we had designed by a local artist, because we need to promote local artists, of course. And when we went there, they saw that the poster was very had a lot of quality. So of course, like they thought, yes, maybe we can help them and make sure that we can spread the word. So they have been helping with the posters. Unfortunately, we are. This is pretty much the extent of the kind of help that we get at the moment. But you know, eventually we will be known enough so that people will, you know, pay to come see us perform. Eventually, this is the dream.
So tell me about La Libération.
Well, La Libération is a troupe of young artists that just like to, you know, try interesting and unusual projects to try to show people that theater is not necessarily only Molière and everything, but also some very more modern and interesting projects that just changes their worldview on the overall craft.
And what of this?
This
does
representation.
This thing
It does not. No, it does not have a title. We just wanted to not spoil the surprise to everybody, because it's like something. Well, to be fair, it's something that most people have not heard of. So we try not to confuse people with some stuff they do not know. But since you are so willing to try to help us with that, this is a book that has been given to us that's called The King in Yellow. It's beautiful, a little bit weird and daunting, but this is also part of the process and the beauty of doing theater. I haven't read the whole piece, to be honest, but we are going to play some specific extracts, some specific moments.
Interesting. And
Just
where
teased
did you obtain this book? You said it was given to you?
Yes, this man came after one of our representation, and he seemed to say that we were very, how can I say, very promising, and we had a lot of potential. So he said that, like, with a project like that, we would probably have like a lot of success. And he said that he would even put us in contact with the printing company for the posters, because he feels that this should definitely... He actually put us in contact with the artist too. We did not even know that it was him. We didn't know he was still alive. And so this guy came, gave us the book, and we read this specific extract that he wanted us to read, and we were hooked. It was just amazing work.
Wait, you mentioned an artist and you didn't know that they were still alive. Could you elaborate on that?
Oh yeah, well, have you been...
I mean, I'm curious because this is such a beautiful looking bill sticker.
It is absolutely beautiful. Well, this man has painted some pieces of artwork on the walls of some buildings here in Strasbourg, or even in some castles, as a matter of fact. And so we knew that painting on the wall of the old restaurant and stuff like that, because we live in Strasbourg, so we kind of know that. But the how can I say, the extent of his work we actually did not know. He painted in castles. He painted actual paintings on canvas and stuff, and he did amazing work in all kinds of styles. So we obviously went through him. We went to him to see him. He was a little bit disturbed. Well, troubled. Troubled is the word that I'm looking for. What artist is not, to be honest.
What was his name? I'd very much like to
Leo
explore
Schnur.
more of his works.
Mr. Schnur. He's
very good.
not very well known yet, but I think that eventually he's yes, absolutely. His work is definitely going to be known eventually.
Oh no, I think he might be on the up and up, like you lot are as well.
That's
so
the world.
who was this mysterious man? What was the name of the man who gave you the book?
It was German sounding, no, wasn't it? Yes, the guy with the mark, Roderick, Mr. Unwitz, I believe.
Is he still around?
He hasn't come recently, but no, he hasn't come recently. That's true. Maybe he's trying to make sure that he doesn't stumble into one of our rehearsals, to make sure that he doesn't, spoil the surprise of seeing it actually live.
Interesting. And this might seem like an odd request.
No, we are artists. We are used to odd.
What would it cost for you to not put on this performance this evening?
Not doing it? No.
I feel.
Huh.
I very much would like to invest in you, but I think with this King in Yellow could be much grander than a snippet, and that would be my terms. I would not be willing to invest if you take it to the streets prematurely.
Well, taste on your face.
This is not. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit taken aback. we can't now. Like, the representation is deceiving. A lot of people are counting on us. We cannot stop the representation. Now, we can make sure that we keep this one as a one-time event for you to have the exclusivity on whatever is coming next, but we cannot in good conscience stop now. It's not a matter of money, sir. It's a matter of pride in our craft. You understand, I hope. If you don't, I'm afraid that we might not be the best people to invest in. I'm very sorry.
I did a wisdom check, but I failed. So
So,
he was going to try to find out if this person was speaking like fanatically, like the other people we've experienced.
well, if Janet and Bridget would like to roll wisdom save, you can also try to assess their behavior and see like what you think
Probably
about that.
good, seeing they spoke to Leo.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, he seems super passionate.
One more question.
Of course.
What do you know about this symbol? And he's going to point to the symbol on the
Isn't that-
bill poster.
Isn't that a smudge? He's trying to like wipe it off. Oh,
No,
that's... yeah, no.
he'll get another one and
Oh!
point to it somewhere else.
I've seen that. Oh, that is a nice touch. Oh, that artist is good. He takes out his book of the King in Yellow. He says, "Look, it's also on the cover here." Oh, that is a nice touch. I did not even see that. That's beautiful. Wow.
What does that represent?
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's coming up often in sometimes like in the in this book, just like random footnotes and stuff like that. From what I gathered, it seems to be like the king's symbol, I guess. Not quite sure.
Is it
Yes,
like a
Bridget?
bound book, like an actual book, or is it like a handwritten?
It's like No, it's a bound book.
Mhm.
Actually printed book.
Can I see the
yeah.
book?
Sure,
You can ask
absolutely.
if you can see it.
It's pretty easy to find, actually. You can see the how do you call that, spine of the book shows the author, one Robert W. Chambers, and it's the book that you're holding right now is an edition dated from 1917.
Okay, that's
It's
what I was looking for when it was
pretty
published.
nicely
Okay.
written. It's in good condition and everything.
Mm-hmm. Are there any drawings inside?
Just like a few references here and there. You just like if you just scroll quickly through the
yeah.
pages, you can see just a few places where, you know, there's like marks that indicate the beginning of a new chapter or something. Just like these random graphics. This
Yeah.
is usually the symbol that is being used.
Okay.
Well, I'm exceedingly sorry, but we're gonna have to rehearse a little bit. Yes, first.
I'm not gonna do this in character because Percy wouldn't do the "Do you know who I am?" But did the surname Cunningham drop any like penny drop with them at all? Like being the minor celebrity that he is.
Give me a wisdom save.
Oh,
No
We're rolling
clue.
crap with these.
No
babies.
freaking clue, my man. Well, we're going to
Well,
have
that-
to rehearse a little bit now, if you don't mind. But
Just,
okay.
just one thing before you go.
yes, yes.
We do need to make sure this troop is large enough.
Oh, well, of course.
How many people do you have in this troop, and how many are performing this
Oh.
evening?
Everybody in the troop is gonna perform today. We're gonna bring our A game, and
Excellent.
we are currently counting 18 people.
18.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that information.
Yes, Bridget.
Well, while he's talking to the other people, can I just kind of put the book in my bag and walk away?
Give me a dex save. That's a success. They are so passionate and eager to go back to rehearsal that they do not see you walk away with that book.
Okay.
Well, I wish you a very good day. And if I may offer a suggestion, one of the best places to see like the pinnacle of the representation, go to Place Kléber. Trust us, it's going to be the centerpiece of everybody. It's going to be amazing. Don't be late. 8 p.m. sharp. We are nothing if not punctual, despite what people say about the artists. Well,
Thank you. I shall take my investment elsewhere.
I understand. I'm very sorry, but it's a matter of integrity. But you will find someone that suits your need. But in the meantime, I still wish you a very, very good day. And he just does this extremely exaggerated bow, like very theatric.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as you are leaving this place and letting them rehearse and slowly actually considering going back for lunch because, the morning is fast continuing. Here's what you don't see. Somewhere underneath the city, a person is just walking in some very dark, poorly lit galleries. And he's just tying knots. Easy knots, one after the other. He's starting to feel it in his fingers. He's starting to feel the friction of all those pieces of rope, all those things. But he still has a little bit of time to make sure that everything is neatly done, neatly taught. It's gonna be a great show. He can't wait to see it. He's very happy that finally the stars are aligning. It's gonna be a great show. And this is where we're going to stop for today. So,
Wow.
we might have a little bit of a schedule change for next session because of some people not being here, including the DM. So I'm not exactly sure yet. We will confirm that with people. But at the moment, just assume that there is a game on the next session on the 9th, unless stated otherwise. But just keep an eye on Sparabel's socials, which you should already do anyway, because there's a lot of funky stuff. And yeah, in the meantime, don't go too far, because in less than 4 hours, there's going to be a Gallant Horde game called, I think, Arabella's something? Farm? Or
Barn.
Barn. I was not that far.
Very close.
Yeah, I was. I think that for once, none of you is in the game, right? Wow, that's a big change. So that means that you guys can actually try to sleep-ish. Especially, I need to shout out to Will, who wakes up, every session at, ungodly hours, and this time he actually had to perform in a hotel lobby in front of the bar, so many thanks, man. Very appreciate the sacrifice. Well,
It's been interesting watching people going about their mornings with
I can't imagine.
a weirdo sitting here putting on a fake British accent, talking at a screen. But thanks to the bar staff who brought me a coffee while I was doing this. So.
That's awesome.
Give our thanks to the bar staff. That's awesome.
And thank you to you, Lionel, for creating a story and a game that makes me want to get up at 3:30 in the morning and play the game even while I'm away on a business weekend.
Not gonna lie, full honest truth, I would not have done it. Were I in your situation, I would not have woken up. That's it. But in any case, enough chit chat. You need to go back to work apparently. So you guys have a wonderful time zone. We see you at the Horde game, and have a good time. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.